Okay, so we're going to start the class. So it says that we use the first conditional to talk about a possibility future situation, a possibility. Remember, 900% of happened, that it's happened, okay? With conditional sentence, we always have an if clause. So it means that we have to use if. For example, if I save enough money, I will buy a new cell phone. If I buy a new cell phone, I will download a lot of games. If I downloaded a lot of games, my mother will be furious. Yes, right? So look at here, look at here. We have we have three if examples, right? If clauses, right? In different situations, right? Okay, so that is about the first conditional, okay? Something that has the 90% of probabilities that is going to happen, okay? So like right now, if you look at the sky, you can say, okay, if it is dark, if the sky is dark, if the sky is dark, it will rain in the afternoon, right? So that is a probability, that is a possibility. Can it happen? Yes, but we have a 90% of probability that that's going to happen, okay? Now, we are going to discuss, and also we are going to start with the second conditional. And it says that the second conditional is used to talk about a real future situation, okay? As in the first conditional, we use an if clause sentence. We use if, okay? It says, if I want the lottery, I would travel around the world. If I travel around the world, I would meet a lot of people. So this is an unreal situation because it says if I won the lottery. So can you win the lottery? No, right? We can win the lottery. It's something that you are not sure if it is going to happen, right? Okay. And also travel around the world. We are not sure if we can travel around the world. Why? Because first of all, you need the visa, right? Or your passport. Okay. Now, here we're going to see the structure of the second conditional. So look at here. It says that we started with if, the if clause. Then we are going to use the simple past. Then we are going to use a modal verb that is would, and then the base form. Okay, example, if I had the time, I would learn Italian. Situation, impossible. It says if I don't have the time, so I am not going to learn Italian. So this is a probability, something that is not going to happen, because if you say, if I had the time, we have the time, but we don't want to do it, right? Yes, I would learn Italian, that's impossible. And number two, if I won the lottery, I would travel around the world, that is unlikely. There is a very small chance of winning the lottery. So the trip is unlikely, okay? It's unlikely, very good. So now let's do some examples, okay? So remember that the first conditional, we're going to start with this, the first conditional. Remember, the first conditional is with. If plus present simple, comma, simple future. Okay, so that is about the first conditional. What about the second conditional? Okay, for the second conditional, we have something similar, but in this case, we are not going to use the present in the future. So we're going to use if plus simple past, comma, would plus verbs in base form. Okay. Okay, so example number 1. If, in this case, we're going to say this, now vamos a escribir en azul, in blue. Okay, now if I what? If I can't drive a car, I will buy one. Or you can say, if I had, or if I get my license driver, if I get my license driver, I will buy a car. Okay. So if I get, it's a probability, right? It's something that is going to happen. You know that it's going to happen. Why? Because if you don't have the license driver, you can't drive, right? But the second conditional, something that is not going to happen, something that you think, okay? So, for example, this is more when you want to give advices because we can use would, should, or could, okay? Not only would, okay? So, here we can say, if I were you, si yo fuera tú, if I were you, I would study for my exams. That is hypothetical. That is about something that you are telling to someone, okay? So, for example, if I were you, I would study for an exam. So it means that it's a probability that your friend is a lazy person, right? Imagine that you are applying for a new job. You are applying for a new job and you need some requirements to get it. Okay? And you have to do some exams about that. And your friend tells you, hey, how are you? What are you doing? Here, playing video games. I remember that you told me you have an interview tomorrow. Oh, yes, I have an interview tomorrow, right? So, my friend, if I were you, I would study for the interview. Now, don't worry, I will pass it. He doesn't care about that, okay? So, this is about different situations, real situations, okay? Something that you know that is not going to happen, okay? So if I were you, I would study for my exam. Another one, if I had money, si tuviera dinero, ¿qué haría? ¿Qué haría si tuviera dinero? Okay. I would visit. Okay. I would visit. Pongámosle Chalatenango. Here in El Salvador. Chalatenango. Okay. If I had money, I would visit Chalatenango. Is that when you are thinking, ah, if I had money, I would visit Chalatenango. Si yo tuviera dinero, visitaría Chalatenango and a lot of places, right? Okay. But look at the difference here. I will have money next week if I work extra hours. Okay. So, and look at the difference. I will have money next week if I work extra hours. So in this case, this is a probability that is going to happen. Why? Because you have the job, okay? And if you work extra hours, you will have money. That is something that is going to happen. But in this case, it's just like a thought, como un pensamiento. If I had money, I would visit Chalatenango. It means that right now you don't have money for traveling. Okay. So, any doubts about this? ¿Alguna duda, preguntas aquí? No?
No, teacher.
Okay, very good. Let's continue. Okay. So, remember that in this case, we are not going to use the simple present, neither will. Okay. Here we're going to use if, simple past, would. Okay. If, simple past, would. Okay. Okay. Let's practice this conversation about Gary and Jill. Okay. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes. Okay, Gary, you are going to, okay. Hazel, you are going to be Gary, and Frank, you're going to be Jill, okay? We're good, so let's start. Hazel.
Hi, if you were rich, like so rich you never had to worry about money ever, what would you do?
If I were a priest, I would buy a nice house by the sea. I know the coast and I would travel and work. I would visit favorite country in the world. How about you?
Okay.
To be honest, I don't really know, but I will give a lot of money to my parents. They are old and they have worked so hard all of their lives. Apart from that, yes, well, traveling sounds good. Yeah, I would love to do that. The rest, I am not so sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's time to get back down to eat now and stop dreaming. Tomorrow is another day at work and ain't going to make either of us rush.
Rich. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Better get on with it then.
Okay, okay, very good job. So you look at it here. We have, if you were rich, what is going to happen? What would you do if you were rich, millionaire? Mhm. What would you do if you were rich? Frank, if I were. Ahí vamos a decir siempre were. Siempre. Cuando estamos hablando de conditional, ya no vamos a decir el was. If I was rich, no. If I were. If I were. Mhm. To another country. Okay, such as, example. Spain, okay, very good, okay. Spain is a good country. Hazel, what would you do if you were rich?
If I were rich, I would buy a car and I will travel another country.
Okay, okay, very good. Yeah, if I were rich, I would probably travel to other country too, such as Spain or Italy, especially Italy, because I would like to visit Rome. I would like to visit the Pisa Tower and the Eiffel. No, the Eiffel Tower is in France, okay? But it's okay, anyway. I would like to visit those monuments, okay? Now look at here, it says, if I were that rich, I would buy a nice house by the sea. I would like to do that too. It says, and I would like to travel the world. I would visit every country in the world. Okay, very good. Now look at here, we have where it's time to get back down to heart, it's time to get back down to earth. What is the meaning? What do you think is the meaning of get back down? Get back down. It's an idiom, it's an expression. Hello. Come
Como
in.
poner los pies en la tierra o algo así.
Very good. Pon los pies en la tierra. Stop dreaming. That's the meaning of stop dreaming. Okay, for example, imagine that you are saying, okay, I am Goku, right? And I will do the Heikidama and I will kill you, right? Come on, get down, get back down to earth. Okay, poner los pies sobre la tierra, right? So that's the meaning of get back down to earth. Okay, why? Because it says now and stop dreaming. Deja de estar enseñando, okay? Very good. Dinora, how are you? What's up? What happened to you? Nothing. Really? Okay, good. Let's continue. Now, we are going to start practicing these exercises using the second conditional. Okay, so we are going to use the second conditional. Look at here, it says if we, verb parenthesis, had. If we had a judge, we sail the seven seas, would sail, okay? So remember the structure for the second conditional, okay? So remember the structure for the second conditional. If plus the simple present, simple past, sorry, plus would, remember that you don't have to forget that besides the simple past, we are going to use would And then we're going to use the base form of the verb. Example, I would visit my family. I would travel to London. I would listen to music. I would practice English. Yes? I would practice English if I had the time. So it means that you have the time, but you don't want to do it, right? Okay. Now, would plus base forms the verbs. Example, I would study for my exams, or I would visit Chalatenango. Okay, would means gustaría o ría, dependiendo del verbo. If I say would have, tendría. Would be, sería. Would, let me see, would study, estudiaría. Okay, ría, that's the meaning of, okay. Now, let's start. Okay, number one, if we have, in this case, we're going to use it in the past. Okay, if we had a judge, we would say the 7th year, but you don't have a judge, right? Okay, now let's go with number two. If he, more time, he karate. If he, if he what? Present or past? It is in the
Past.
past. Very good. And what is the past of have?
Had.
Very good. If he had, si él tiene más tiempo, if he had more time, he, what is the result? What is the result? Would, very good. Would what?
Learn.
Good, would learn. Okay, very good. Would learn. He would learn. Okay, very good. Number three, if they, their father, he very angry. If they told, very good. If they told their father, he
Would.
would be, very good, would be. Remember, verb to be plus a modal verb, it doesn't change, no va a cambiar, okay? Next one, number four, she a year in the USA if it easier to get a green card. Green card, okay. Now, she spent or she would spend. Which one do you think? Huh? She spent or she would spend? Very good. Yes, she would. She would spend. Why would spend? ¿Por qué? Why?
Because the first is the person.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because it starts with the person. Okay, that is she. But why? Why I say would spend? Why? You don't know? No? No idea, Frank? Because it is what? Yeah, but why would? Why I write would instead of saying spend in past? Why I didn't write spend? Instead, would spend. ¿Por qué puse would spend here? En lugar de solo poner spend. Why? Yeah, because it's the second conditional. Okay, pero ¿por qué no le pongo spend? It's a verb in past.
Because the action is uh, unreal future.
Could be. Okay, but listen. So just identify this. I, if I, let me see. If I played in a soccer match or in a soccer game. If I played in a soccer game, simple past. Okay. I would be rich. If I play in a, okay, let's see different. If I play in in a soccer, in a famous, famous soccer team, tell me one famous soccer team. Barcelona, another one. Okay, what else? Another one. Real Madrid. Uh-huh. Paris Saint-Germain. Yes, right? So what is going to happen if I played in a soccer, in a famous soccer team? I would be rich. What is the probability? What is the result? The result is would be. Okay? Would be. And what is the condition? If I play. Okay? But look at here. If, but, unido and simple past. Okay? It's different if I say I would be rich, no de alcanzar, rich de rico. I would be rich. What is going to happen? I would be rich. Yo sería rico if I play. ¿Con qué comenzamos aquí? What is this one? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué le dije que era eso? Ajá.
Unreal.
So, just look at this example, el ejemplo que les puse a ellos. So, I wrote in the board, if I played in a famous soccer team, that is the condition. I would, let's talk about the result. I would be rich. But if we change, it would be I would be rich if I played in a famous soccer team. Okay, why here I use simple past and here I use would be? ¿Por qué? Why I started with would in this part and why here with if?
Because consequence.
Okay, because we started with consequence. Okay. Okay, very good. Now, listen, guys. Just I'm going to tell you a tip. Le voy a dar un tip. And this one is going to help you a lot. If you started with the result, remember that the result would be in the first conditional will, the second conditional would. Okay, if you started with the result, remember that you are going to use those modal verbs. Okay, but if you started with if, remember that you are going to use simple present or simple past. Okay, okay, so in this case, if we started with the result, then we will continue with the condition. Okay, remember, second conditional would. Okay, simple past with would, right? First conditional, simple present with will. Okay, so in this case, in this example, you told me that the second one is, okay, you told me that the fourth one is, would be. ¿Por qué would be? Ahora dígame por qué would be. Would spend, ajá. ¿Por qué sería would spend? A ver, dígame.
Because if the second conditional about the action is unreal.
Ok, ya, pero ¿por qué pusimos would spend en lugar de solo spend? ¿Por qué pusimos eso en lugar de pasado? ¿Por qué? Eso es lo que yo quiero que se me entienda, ¿por qué comencé así? Why? Because here I use had. Bueno, ve aquí comencé con had y aquí comencé con told. ¿Pero por qué? ¿Por qué? Porque hasta aquí puse would learn y aquí puse would be. Ajá. Y aquí, as a consequence, I'm going to be was. It's going to be was. But why here I use would spend? ¿Por qué? Ujú. Ajá. Yeah, pero no está después de, okay, because if, before the if, okay, good, but remember something, el resultado de qué forma va a ir en el segundo condicional. Va a ir would y el verbo, right? Va, ahora, pregunta, comenzamos con el if, ahí.
No, teacher.
Exacto, entonces no comenzamos con la condición, ¿con qué comenzamos?
Con the consequence.
Very good, with the consequence or with the result. Entonces, si usted comienza con el result or with the consequence, it means that you are going to use would. But if you started with if, remember simple past. Yes? Okay. Espérame, déjame ver. She would spend a year in the US if in the USA if it was easier. No, aquí vamos a ocupar el was. Aquí sí vamos a ocupar el was. Oops. Solamente cuando tú dices si yo fuera. Si yo fuera. If I were a pilot, if I were a dog, if I were an eagle. ¿Ok? Solo para eso, pero para los demás vamos a ocupar el was. If she were you. O sea, solamente cuando vas a comenzar la condición. Okay, for example, if she were a Stitch, she would speak another language. Pero no es Stitch. Solamente cuando comienzan las condiciones. En this case, no vamos a ocupar if, porque no estás mencionando quién podría ser, sino que cómo puede ser. Example, if it was easier to get a green card, she would spend a year in the USA. Ella podría pasar un año en Estados Unidos si tuviera. In this case, it's okay. If it was, no vamos a escribir if it were, no, if it was, okay? Okay, if I, which one in this part? If I, would live or lived?
Live,
Live.
because the first part is consequence.
Because the first part is the, what? The condition.
The condition, yeah.
Okay.
The condition.
Okay, if I lived on a lonely island, really, like the familia Peluche, right? Okay, if I lived on a lonely island, around, okay, naked all day. What is naked? Naked means without clothes, without anything, without underwear, without your shirt, without your pants, without your shoes. Naked. What is the meaning of naked? Desnudo. Okay,
Would.
I would run. Okay. If I lived on a lonely island, I would run around naked all day. Yes, I would do it too. Why not? I'm alone, right? I don't need clothes. Probably my shoes, right? Okay, number 6. We, you, if, we, how. We, ¿cómo iría aquí? Would, very good. We would help you. We would help you if we, what is the past of no? What is the simple past of no? If we knew, if we knew how, si supiéramos cómo, okay? Number 7, my brother had a sport card if he the money. My brother
Would.
very good. Bueno, chicos, aquí podemos ocupar el should y podemos ocupar el could, ¿ok? Podemos ocupar también él. Could and also should. What is the meaning of could? No, could. ¿Qué significa? In the past. Podría. In should.
Debería.
Por lo tanto, podemos ocuparlos. Por ejemplo, he could buy. Él podría comprar. En lugar de decir compraría, I can say he could. He could buy. Podemos ocupar también el could. Okay. Should, remember that is for advices. Okay. Okay, my brother would buy a sport card if he had, pero no oigo, had, sin miedo, had. If he had the money. Okay, number 8. If I better to the cinema with you. If I felt, okay, very good. If I felt better, I
Went. I will work. Go. Mhm.
yeah, I would go. I would go to the cinema with you. Very good. Number 9, if you buy bike more often, you so flabby. What is flabby, guys? Do you have any idea?
No idea.
No idea? It's like a fitness. Okay, it's like fitness, like with a lot of energy. Okay. If you buy bike more often, if you buy bike more often, if you went, if you went by bike more often, you
Will not. Not be.
so fluffy, como rellenito, right? Okay. Number 10, she talked to you if she,
She will
she would
not.
talk or she would not, talk to you if she
Was. She. She were. She were.
okay, was or were? It was. Solo cuando tú quieres representar a alguien. Como por ejemplo aquí, if she was mad at you, si ella está enojada, ella estaba enojada contigo. Si ella fuera enojada contigo o molesta contigo. Pero si tú decís, si ella fuera tú, estás dirigiéndote hacia la otra persona, no hacia ella. En ese caso, esto se está dirigiendo hacia ella, no hacia la otra persona. Porque dice mad at you, como molesta contigo. ¿Ok? Pero si yo digo, si yo fuera un carro, I would like to run faster or fast. Okay. Another example, if I were a millionaire like Nayib Bukele, I would travel in a jet. I would travel in an airplane, in a helicopter. If I were, example, if Frank If Frank were, okay, if Frank weren't so shy, he would have a lot of girlfriends. ¿A quién me estoy dirigiendo? A ti. Pero aquí me estoy dirigiendo hacia algo que le pertenece a la otra persona. She was mad at you. Okay. Okay, very good. Any question? Okay, very good. Now let's continue. Okay. What are we going to do? We are going to watch the video and we are going to write down the questions that you heard, okay? Then ask the questions. Okay, so first I need you to listen to this video, okay? Okay, listen to this video. Write down the questions. Me voy a escribir las preguntas, so I need you to be focused on the questions that you will hear and then ask the questions to your partners.
There's a quiz in this magazine. How honest are you? Do you want to do it?
Not really. You know, I'm not interested in quizzes.
Number 1. If you found an expensive watch on a park bench, what would you do?
Well, if I found a really good watch, I'd keep it.
Really? You wouldn't take it to the police?
No, I'd sell it and give the money to the homeless.
I see. Number 2. If a store clerk gave you too much change, would you give it back?
No, I wouldn't. I'd keep it. Prices are too high anyway.
Number 3. If a waiter forgot to charge you for something you ate in a restaurant, would you tell him?
No, but I'd leave a bigger tip. Say, this is good. Are there any more questions?
Yes, but I'm depressed now. I wish you were a little more honest, you know?
But I am honest. I'm telling the truth, aren't I?
Okay. Okay. So let's start again. He was lying, okay? He was lying, okay. That's why she said at the end, I'm depressed because you are not saying the truth, okay? So now, let's listen again and I need you to write it down, the questions, the question that she asked him, okay? She asked to him. Let's start.
There's a quiz in this magazine. How honest are you? Do you want to do it?
Not really. You know, I'm not interested in quizzes.
Number 1. If you found an expensive watch on a park bench, what would you do?
Okay. Let's listen again.
Number 1. If you found an expensive watch on a park bench, what would you do? Number 1. If you found an expensive watch on a park bench, what would you do?
Okay, now let's listen the answer and then write it down.
Well, if I found a really good watch, I'd keep it.
Really?
I'll keep it, okay? Now, number 1. What is question number 1? Okay, very good. If you found an expensive watch, ¿a dónde? Si lo encuentra, ¿a dónde? Okay, listen again.
You know I'm not interested in quizzes.
Number 1. If you found an expensive watch on a park bench, what would you do?
Okay, if you found an expensive watch in a park bench. What is bench? What is that for you? So look at the picture. What do you think is park bench? Como una banqueta, como un banco. Okay, what would you do? What would you do? ¿Qué dijo él?
Well, if I found a really good watch, I'd keep it.
Re-
¿Qué dice? I'll keep it. Voy a poner más aquí. I'd keep it. That is a contraction. I would. I would keep it. No, keep it. Keep it. That's nice. I would keep it. Yo lo quedaría. No mantendría con él. You're saying like a cell phone, right? ¿Cómo voy a devolver un teléfono? Usted, hasta yo será eso. No, I'm kidding. Depende. Depende de las circunstancias. Si necesita el teléfono, obviamente no lo va a devolver. Nah, I'm kidding. Okay, so I would keep it. Okay, I would keep it. Okay, now let's go with the number 2.
Well, if I found a really good watch, I'd keep it.
Really? You wouldn't take it to the police?
You wouldn't take it to the police. No llevarías a la policía. You wouldn't take it to the police.
No, I'd sell it and give the money to the homeless.
I see. Number 2.
Okay. ¿Qué va a hacer él? Si no lo lleva a la policía, ¿qué va a hacer él? That is the second question. So listen again.
Keep it.
Really? You wouldn't take it to the police?
You wouldn't take it to the police. He said,
No, I'd sell it and give the money to the homeless.
Aida. ¿Qué va a hacer él? Aida. Sell and give the money to where? Okay, listen again. To the homeless. Okay.
You wouldn't take it to the police?
No, I'd sell it and give the money to the homeless.
I see. Number
To the homeless. What is the meaning of homeless? What is the meaning of homeless?
Vagabunda.
Vagabundos. Okay, las personas que viven en la calle, that is the homeless. Okay. Okay, let's continue.
2. If a store clerk gave you too much change, would you give it back?
Okay, that is the second question. Listen again.
If a store clerk gave you too much change, would you give it back?
No.
Okay. It says if a clerk gave you much change, what is the meaning of change? Cambio. Cambio. Okay. One more time.
If a store clerk gave you too much change, would you give it back?
Okay, that is the second one. I'm going to write it here. If a store clerk gave you, remember, fast. Change. Listen again.
We'll be back.
A store clerk gave you too much change. Would you give it back?
Okay, if a store clerk gave you, what is that? So much, demasiado, so much change. Would you give it back? Ahí se la devolvería. Okay, listen what he answered. Okay, listen what he answered.
No, I wouldn't. I'd keep it. Prices are too high anyway.
Number 3.
Okay, now what did he say? What did he answer? What did he answer? Exactly. He said no, he would keep it, right? He would keep it. Why? Because the price is too expensive. Los precios son bien caros.
Gave you too much change. Would you give it back?
No, I wouldn't. I'd keep it. Prices are too high anyway.
Number 3. If a waiter forgot to charge you for something you ate in a restaurant, would you tell him?
No, but I'd leave a bigger tip. Say, this is good. Are there any more questions?
Yes, but I'm depressed now. I wish you were a little more honest, you know?
But I am honest. I'm telling the truth, aren't I?
Okay, now let's listen the last one. The last one, listen this one.
Number 3. If a waiter forgot to charge you for something you ate in a restaurant, would you tell him?
If a waiter forgot to charge you something you ate it in a restaurant, would you tell him? Le diría usted, would you tell him? If a waiter forgot to write something that you eat in a restaurant, would you tell him? Listen what he answered.
No, but I'd leave a bigger tip.
Okay, no, but I believe I would write a tip. A tip is like a sugerencias, okay?
Say, this is good. Are there any more questions?
Yes, but I'm depressed now. I wish you were a little more honest, you know?
But I am honest. I'm telling the truth, aren't I?
Okay, very good. Okay, guys, very good. Now we are going to see what is the phrasal verb for today. So the phrasal verb for today is go after. What is the meaning of go after? Go after means to chase or follow someone in order to catch them. It's like, slow down. Example, the cat went after the bird, but it flew away. Como perseguir. That is go after. Okay, that is go after. So, do you have any question about this part, guys? No?
No, teacher. No, teacher.
No questions? Okay, very good. So guys, listen, we're going to stop the class right now. Thank you so much for being here. And let's see you tomorrow in class. Okay, Dinora. Bye. El único día que se iba a conectar, ninguno de los dos se conectó. ¿Verdad? ¿Verdad? No fue su culpa. Okay. So guys, thank you so much for coming. Porfa, hagan las tareas que están en el libro, en el workbook. Ok, en el workbook. Hay que hacer las tareas que están en el workbook. Y el día que vengan yo las reviso. Ya le revisé el libro a Mr. Frank, falta a Hazel y faltas tú. Entonces, el día viernes que vengamos nuevamente, les reviso los que tengan, ¿ok?
Okay, teacher.
So, thank you so much and see you.